If you are over 60, I want you to picture your dinner plate from last night. Was there a big, colorful salad on it? Maybe a side of steamed broccoli or a hearty bowl of bean soup. For decades, we have been told the same simple rule: eat your vegetables. Vegetables are healthy. Vegetables prevent disease. And for the most part, that is absolutely true. But what if I told you that after a certain age, some of those exact same vegetables, the ones you force yourself to eat because you think they are good for you, are actually quietly waging a war inside your gut? Imagine your digestive system is like a classic car. When it was new, the engine roared. It could handle any fuel you put in it. You could eat a mountain of raw kale salad or a giant bowl of chili and feel just fine. But now, that classic car has some miles on it. The engine is a little slower. The parts are a bit worn. It needs premium fuel, gentle handling, and specific care. When you put the wrong kind of heavy, rough fuel into it now, the engine sputters. It backfires. You know that feeling. It is that moment, about an hour after a healthy meal, when your stomach starts to feel like an inflated balloon. You feel heavy. You feel gassy. There is an uncomfortable pressure pushing up against your diaphragm, maybe even making it feel a little hard to breathe deeply. You might get cramps or suddenly need to rush to the bathroom, or worse, feel constipated for days. You think to yourself, "But I ate so well today. Why do I feel so terrible?" It is frustrating. It feels unfair. You are trying to do the right thing, but your body is not cooperating. I want you to know right now, it is not your fault. The problem isn't you. The problem is that the generic advice of eat more veggies does not come with an instruction manual for life after 60. No one warned you that as your internal machinery changes, your food choices need to change with it. Today, we are going to rewrite that manual. I am going to reveal the 5 surprising vegetables that are often marketed as superfoods, but can act like supervillains in an older digestive tract. We are going to explore exactly why they cause so much trouble, using simple science that makes sense. But do not worry, this is not about taking healthy food away from you. It is about upgrading your choices. After we identify the troublemakers, I am going to introduce you to 4 unsung heroes. These are the vegetables that are gentle, healing, and exactly what your body is craving right now. If you are tired of feeling bloated and uncomfortable after trying to eat healthy, I want you to press the subscribe button for the Ageless Vitality channel right now. Join our community of people who are learning to work with their bodies, not against them. Let us start by uncovering the first hidden culprit. It is one of the most popular vegetables in the world, and probably the biggest offender when it comes to senior digestion. First, raw cruciferous vegetables. I am talking about broccoli, cauliflower, kale, Brussels sprouts, and cabbage. We love them. They are crunchy. They are colorful. Every health magazine tells us they fight cancer and are packed with vitamins. So you do the responsible thing. You chop up raw broccoli into your salad. You snack on raw cauliflower with dip. You force down a raw kale smoothie because your daughter told you it was a superfood. And then the trouble begins. Here is the secret that those health articles rarely mention. These vegetables contain a very complex type of sugar called raffinose. Think of raffinose like a tightly locked treasure chest. Inside the chest is energy that your body could use. But to open that chest, you need a very specific key. That key is a digestive enzyme called alpha-galactosidase. When you were 20 or 30, your body produced plenty of these keys. You could eat a bowl of raw coleslaw, and your body would unlock the chests, digest the sugar, and move on. No problem. But as we enter our 60s and 70s, our bodies naturally start producing fewer digestive enzymes. We start losing those keys. So what happens when you eat raw broccoli now? That raffinose treasure chest travels down your digestive tract, completely unopened. It passes through your stomach. It passes through your small intestine. Finally, it arrives in your large intestine. Your large intestine is home to trillions of bacteria. This is your gut microbiome. And these bacteria love raffinose. When this undigested sugar arrives, it is like an all-you-can-eat buffet for them. They feast on it, and as they eat, they ferment it. Think about what happens when yeast ferments sugar to make beer or bread. It creates gas bubbles. The exact same thing happens inside you. Those bacteria create hydrogen, methane, and carbon dioxide gas. A lot of it. This is not just a little bit of air. It is a significant buildup of pressure. Your intestines stretch like a balloon. This distension is what causes that painful, bloated feeling. The trapped gas causes cramping, and eventually, that gas has to find a way out, leading to embarrassing and uncomfortable flatulence. I remember speaking with a lovely woman named Eleanor. She was 72. She loved gardening and grew her own kale. She told me, "I eat a big raw kale salad every single day for lunch because I know it is good for me. But by 2 in the afternoon, I have to unbutton my pants because my stomach is so swollen. I cannot go out to my garden club meetings because I am terrified of having gas in public." Eleanor was poisoning her quality of life with the very food she thought was saving it. Once she stopped eating the kale raw and started lightly steaming it instead, the bloating disappeared almost overnight. Why? Because heat acts like that missing key. Cooking breaks down the tough raffinose sugars before they ever enter your mouth. It does the hard work so your aging digestive system does not have to. So, here is the new rule. If it belongs to the cabbage family, never eat it raw. Steam it, roast it, boil it into a soft soup. You will still get the vitamins, but without the painful aftermath. Now, let us move to the second food on our list. This one is a staple in American kitchens and is often praised as the ultimate source of cheap, healthy plant protein. Second, beans and legumes. Black beans, kidney beans, lentils, chickpeas. They are the stars of hearty soups, chili, and hummus. They are affordable. They are filling. They are rich in fiber. But for an older gut, they can be incredibly difficult to manage. The problem with beans is very similar to broccoli, but with an added twist. They are loaded with a whole family of complex sugars called oligosaccharides. And just like with raffinose, an aging body lacks the enzymes to break them down effectively. But beans have another layer of defense. Their outer skin is tough. It is designed by nature to protect the seed inside so it can pass through an animal's digestive tract unharmed and grow into a new plant. When you eat beans that are not prepared correctly, that tough skin acts like a barrier, preventing your stomach acid and enzymes from even reaching the nutrients inside. Now, consider the environment of an older stomach. As we age, our stomach acid production tends to decline. This condition, called hypochlorhydria, means our stomach acid is weaker than it used to be. So, you have a tough, resistant food entering a stomach with weaker acid. It is a recipe for disaster. The beans sit in your stomach longer than they should, feeling heavy like a rock. Then, they move into the intestines largely undigested, where the bacteria have another gas-producing party. This is why that bowl of bean soup that felt so comforting at dinner can leave you tossing and turning all night with a rumbling, painful belly. I know many of you rely on beans for fiber, and I am not saying you have to give them up completely. But the days of opening a can of beans, rinsing them quickly, and tossing them into a salad are over. If you are going to eat beans, they need serious preparation. If you use dry beans, they must be soaked overnight. This soaking process starts to leach out some of those difficult sugars. Then, they need to be cooked for a long time, until they are profoundly soft. Not just tender, but creamy enough to mash with a spoon. Canned beans are a better option for many seniors because the pressure canning process has already done a lot of the hard cooking work. But even then, rinse them thoroughly until the water runs clear to wash away excess sugars and sodium. If you have ever felt that heavy, stuck feeling after eating beans, I want you to know you are not imagining it. It is a real physiological reaction. If this is making sense to you, I want you to type the number 1 in the comments right now. Just the number 1. Let me know that you are connecting the dots between what you eat and how you feel. Now, let us look at the third category. This one is a broad concept that many people get wrong. Third, giant raw salads. How many times have you seen a commercial or a health influencer eating a salad that is bigger than their head? It is packed with raw lettuce, raw spinach, raw carrots, raw peppers, raw cucumbers. It looks the picture of health. For a 30-year-old trying to lose weight, it might be great, but for a 65-year-old, that giant bowl of raw roughage is a massive burden on the digestive system. All plants are made of cells, and plant cells have tough walls made of a fiber called cellulose. Humans actually cannot digest cellulose at all. We rely on chewing and stomach churning to physically break open those cell walls to get to the nutrients inside. When you eat a huge volume of raw vegetables, you are asking your aging jaw to chew thoroughly enough to break millions of tough cell walls. Then you are asking your aging stomach, with its weaker muscle contractions, to churn that massive amount of rough material. It is exhausting for your system. Often people do not chew well enough. So, big pieces of raw leaves and carrots travel down to the gut. They can irritate the delicate lining of the intestines. They bulk up the stool too much, which, ironically, can lead to constipation if you are not drinking gallons of water. Or it can rush things through too quickly, leading to loose stools and poor nutrient absorption. You are expending a huge amount of digestive energy for very little nutritional return because your body cannot unlock the nutrients from the tough raw cells. Instead of one giant raw salad, try having a smaller side salad with softer lettuces like butter lettuce, and make the main vegetable part of your meal cooked. A bowl of vegetable soup, some roasted root vegetables, or sautéed greens are much gentler and offer more readily available nutrition. Let us move on to the fourth vegetable on our list. This one is tricky because it is often recommended for people with anemia, but it has a dark side for seniors worried about kidney health and bone density. Fourth, high-oxalate vegetables. I am talking specifically about spinach, beet greens, and Swiss chard. These leafy greens are vibrant and full of iron. Popeye ate spinach to get strong, right? But here is the catch. These particular greens are extremely high in a compound called oxalic acid. In nature, oxalic acid is a pesticide. The plant uses it to stop bugs from eating it. In your body, oxalic acid is what we call an anti-nutrient. When you eat raw spinach, the oxalic acid acts like a powerful magnet. It travels through your gut and binds tightly to minerals, especially calcium and iron. Once it binds to calcium, it forms a tiny, hard crystal called calcium oxalate. This is a double whammy of bad news for a senior. First, it steals the calcium from the food you just ate. You might think you are getting calcium from that spinach, but you are not. The oxalate has locked it up. This is terrible for aging bones that desperately need every bit of calcium they can get. Second, these tiny calcium oxalate crystals have to go somewhere. Your kidneys have to filter them out. If you have too many of them and not enough water to flush them through, they can start to stick together in your kidneys. Before you know it, you have a kidney stone. If you have ever had a kidney stone, you know it is a pain worse than childbirth. It is something you want to avoid at all costs. I have had patients who started drinking daily green smoothies packed with raw spinach and beet greens, thinking they were doing something wonderful for their health. A few months later, they are in the emergency room with a kidney stone. Does this mean you can never eat spinach again? No. But stop eating it raw in huge quantities. The simple act of boiling spinach for just 1 minute and then throwing away the cooking water reduces the oxalate content significantly. The oxalates leach out into the water. So, enjoy your cooked spinach, but maybe skip the raw spinach salad. And finally, we arrive at the fifth group of vegetables. These are staples in pasta sauces, pizzas, and summer salads. But for many seniors suffering from aches and pains, they are a hidden trigger. Fifth, the nightshade family. Tomatoes, potatoes, eggplants, and bell peppers. These vegetables belong to the Solanaceae family. They contain natural chemical compounds called alkaloids, such as solanine in potatoes and eggplants, and tomatine in tomatoes. For most people, these compounds are harmless, but a significant percentage of older adults develop a sensitivity to them over time. Why is this a problem for seniors specifically? Because arthritis and chronic joint pain become much more common after 60. There is a growing body of evidence and thousands of anecdotal reports from patients suggesting that for people with existing inflammatory conditions like arthritis, these alkaloids can act as an irritant. They can subtly increase inflammation in the body. You might not notice an immediate reaction like an allergy. It is more insidious. You might just notice that your knees feel a little stiffer the day after you eat a big plate of eggplant parmesan. Or your fingers feel a bit more swollen after a meal heavy with bell peppers. Many seniors live with low-level chronic pain and just accept it as part of aging. They never suspect that their favorite tomato sauce might be contributing to it. This is not about fear-mongering. It is about awareness. If you suffer from chronic joint pain, it is worth trying an experiment. Eliminate nightshades from your diet for 2 weeks. See if your pain levels drop. See if you move a little more freely. Then reintroduce them one by one and see what happens. Your body will tell you the truth. Also, if you have a sensitive gut, the skins and seeds of tomatoes and bell peppers can be very irritating. They are tough fiber that can scratch an inflamed intestinal lining. Always peeling and seeding these vegetables can make them much easier to tolerate. So, there you have it. The 5 categories of vegetables that might be causing you more harm than good. Raw cruciferous vegetables, beans that are not cooked enough, giant raw salads, high-oxalate greens like raw spinach, and the nightshade family. It can feel overwhelming to hear that foods you thought were your friends are actually causing your discomfort. You might be feeling a little lost right now, wondering what is left to eat that is actually safe and healthy. Please do not despair. In the second half of this video, we are going to pivot from problems to solutions. I am going to introduce you to the digestive peacekeepers. These are 4 types of vegetables that are not only safe for an older gut, but are actively healing. They are soft, they are nourishing, and they feed the good bacteria in your system without causing a riot. We will talk about the specific way to prepare greens so they become a superfood for your bowels. We will discuss the sweet root vegetables that act like a warm hug for your stomach. And I will share the one unique vegetable that is considered a top-tier prebiotic by nutrition scientists, perfect for rebuilding a healthy gut microbiome after 60. Stay tuned, because the path to comfortable, happy digestion is easier than you think. Take a deep breath. I know that part 1 might have felt discouraging. When you have spent your whole life being told that raw salads and beans are the pillars of health, hearing that they might be causing your problems feels like the rug has been pulled out from under you. You might be asking yourself, what is left? Do I have to live on white rice and toast forever? Absolutely not. Nature is abundant, and there are wonderful vegetables that are perfectly suited for the second half of life. We just need to shift our focus. We need to move away from the tough, raw, hard-to-digest plants and move toward the soft, soothing, and easily absorbable ones. We are now going to meet the 4 digestive peacekeepers. These are the vegetables that will nourish your body without fighting with your gut. Let us begin with the first hero. This is the answer to the raw salad problem. First, cooked leafy greens. I am talking about spinach, Swiss chard, kale, and collard greens, but with one crucial rule: they must be cooked. Remember Eleanor, who loved her raw kale salads but hated the bloating? The day she started steaming her kale was the day her digestion turned around. Here is why this works. When you take a tough leaf like kale or collard greens and you apply heat, magic happens. The heat breaks down those tough cellulose cell walls that your aging stomach struggles with. It turns a rough, scratchy food into something soft and velvety. But more importantly, cooking changes the nature of the fiber. Raw greens are high in insoluble fiber, which can sometimes rush through an older gut too quickly or cause irritation. When cooked well, these greens provide a gentle form of fiber that absorbs water and helps move things along smoothly without the drama. They become a soothing broom for your intestines, rather than a harsh scrub brush. Furthermore, as we discussed regarding kidney stones, boiling greens like spinach reduces their oxalate content, making them safer for your kidneys. The best way to eat them is steamed until wilting, boiled in a rich broth, or sautéed gently in a little olive oil. The olive oil even helps you absorb the fat-soluble vitamins like vitamin K. So do not give up your greens. Just cook them with love until they are tender. Now, let us meet the second hero category. These are the ultimate comfort foods for a sensitive stomach. Second, root vegetables. Carrots, sweet potatoes, winter squash like butternut or acorn, pastries, and beets. There is a reason why soups loaded with root vegetables feel so comforting when you are under the weather. They are incredibly easy on the digestive system. Unlike the complex, gassy sugars found in beans or broccoli, root vegetables contain starches that are broken down relatively easily by the body, especially when cooked. They provide steady energy without the sharp blood sugar spikes of refined white potatoes. But their real secret power lies in something called prebiotics. You have probably heard of probiotics, which are the good bacteria in your gut. Well, prebiotics are the food that those good bacteria eat. Root vegetables act like fertilizer for your microbiome. They help your good bacteria thrive. And when your good bacteria are happy, your digestion runs smoother, your immune system is stronger, and you feel less bloated. Think of a roasted sweet potato with a little butter or a smooth, creamy butternut squash soup. These foods are soft. They require very little chewing effort, which is helpful if you have dental issues. Your stomach does not have to work hard to churn them into a digestible paste. They just slide right through, delivering vitamins, antioxidants, and gentle fiber without any fuss. They are nature's warm hug for your insides. Moving on to the third hero. This one might surprise you because it is technically a legume, but it behaves very differently from its cousins. Third, green beans and peas. Wait a minute, Dr. Adams, you might say. Did you not just tell us to avoid beans? Yes, I said to avoid dried, mature beans like kidney beans or black beans if they are not cooked perfectly. But green beans, snap peas, and regular garden peas are different. They are harvested when they are young and immature. Because they are young, their outer skins are much thinner and more delicate than a mature kidney bean. They have not developed high levels of those tough, gassy oligosaccharides yet. When you steam fresh green beans until they are tender crisp, or you add frozen peas to a stew, you are getting a wonderful source of plant protein and fiber that is much less likely to cause a gas explosion in your gut. They are the gentle introduction to the legume family. They give you the benefits without the heavy burden. Just ensure they are cooked. Eating raw snap peas can still be a bit tough on an older stomach. A quick steam or boil is all they need to become perfectly digestible. And finally, we arrive at the fourth hero. This vegetable is often overlooked, but nutrition scientists consider it a superstar for gut health in older adults. Fourth, artichokes. Whether it is the fresh globe artichoke or canned artichoke hearts packed in water, this vegetable is a powerhouse. Why? Because artichokes are one of the richest natural sources of a specific type of prebiotic fiber called inulin. Leading health organizations that study senior nutrition often point to inulin as a key to maintaining a healthy gut microbiome as we age. Inulin passes through your stomach undigested and goes straight to your large intestine. Once there, it selectively feeds the most beneficial types of bacteria, particularly bifidobacteria. As we get older, the populations of these good bacteria tend to shrink. Eating artichokes is like sending in reinforcements. It helps rebuild a healthy bacterial community. A healthy microbiome helps you absorb minerals like calcium and magnesium better, which is vital for your bones. It also helps regulate bowel movements, preventing both constipation and diarrhea. Fresh artichokes can be a bit of work to prepare, involving steaming and scraping the leaves. If that is too much trouble, do not hesitate to use canned artichoke hearts. Just make sure they are packed in water, not oil, and give them a good rinse to remove excess sodium. Chop them up and add them to a soft omelet. Toss them into a pasta dish or blend them into a creamy dip. Your gut bacteria will thank you for the feast. So, there you have it, the roadmap to eating vegetables safely and happily after 60. It is time to let go of the giant raw salads, the undercooked beans, and the raw broccoli platters. They are serving a younger body's needs, not yours. Embrace the cooked greens that soothe your system. Lean into the comforting root vegetables that feed your good bacteria. Enjoy the gentle green beans and peas. And do not forget the powerful prebiotic boost of artichokes. Healthy eating after 60 is not about force-feeding yourself things that make you feel awful. It is about listening to the wisdom of your body. If a food makes you bloated, gassy, and uncomfortable every time you eat it, that is your body raising a red flag. Respect that signal. It is not about deprivation. It is about adaptation. I want to challenge you to make one small change this week. If your usual lunch is a big raw salad that leaves you feeling puffy all afternoon, I want you to swap it out. Tomorrow for lunch, have a bowl of warm vegetable soup made with carrots, potatoes, and some green beans. Notice the difference in how you feel at 3 o'clock in the afternoon. Notice if your stomach feels flatter and calmer. And if you try this simple swap, I want you to come back to this video and leave a comment. Just type the word yes. Let me know that you are taking action and listening to your body. If this video helped you understand why your old healthy habits might not be working anymore, please give it a like and share it with your friends and family. So many seniors are suffering in silence with digestive issues because they think they are doing the right thing, you can help them find relief. And do not forget to subscribe to the Ageless Vitality channel and hit the notification bell. Speaking of hidden dangers that we often overlook as we age, our next video is one you absolutely cannot miss. We are going to discuss the 5 early signs of Alzheimer's disease that you are probably ignoring. It is vital information that could change your future. Click the video on the screen now to continue your journey towards smarter, healthier aging. I will see you there.